Okay. This is still Biashara Tuesday on KUTV Rise Today. One of those laws I'm trying to get here. One of those laws that President Uhuru Kenyatta signed in the course of last week was supposed to affect side chicks. Yeah. So if you're a side chick and your main man dies, you're not supposed to get anything, as you have been getting before. I'll get the exact phrasing of that. But now let's get to talk about cars with Captain Manu. Good morning, Manu.
Good morning, Mr. Okenya. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you doing? You know, you've said before, was kusalimi.
Oh, thank you. But I feel very nice.
How was your weekend?
Our weekend ilikuwa shwari.
Kweli.
I like it. By the way, come to think about it, your bill ulikuwa unasema. I think ilikuwa inasema if you are a side chick, you won't be able to benefit from any other thing that your husband had.
What do you mean any other?
Anyway, moving on. Today my stories ni mingi sana.
Okay.
So I don't know where you want us to start.
We can begin at the longest limousine that has been been rolled out.
Okay,
let's begin from there.
So the longest limousine, which is of course in America, where they love to bring everything big, is 30 meters long. That's around 100 foot.
30 meters is... You know, I thought the studio is 30 meters, but apparently it's not big enough to fit that limo. So 30 meters is probably 3 times this studio.
Boss, I think I visit a parking lot too.
In
our parking lot, it's actually really big.
Right. So who gave out this? And what is it supposed to do now?
The thing is, the longest car in history, and ilikuwa kwa Guinness World Book of Records in 1986, sai iko under renovation. It was put in 2012 ilikuwa abandoned and iliacha tu irot, unfortunately.
Okay.
But in 2019 some New Yorkers waliona and they were like, hey boss, we need to do something because this is part of the American history. Interesting things about this limousine, apart from the fact that it's 30 meters long. Wacha nikusome because I had to write this down. Ikitu ni unbelievable.
Let's hear it. Let's hear what it has.
26 wheels.
26 wheels?
Yeah. 26.
How many wheels? Oh, no, it's on the screen.
Tumeanzia 26 wheels. It can be driven from both sides. Mbele nyuma, ukitaka kuchapa reverse, ukitaka kwenda mbele, itenda when una
so ukifika hivi uone mbele una
boss 100 meters.
Crazy.
Alafu iko na V8s mbele na nyuma. Another interesting thing is inaweza bend katikati kama basi.
It has 2 engines.
Oh yeah, it has 2 engines, 2 V8s. Okay. Nika kwa na Land Cruiser mbili mbele na nyuma. 2 V8
engines, that's a fuel guzzler.
Alafu iko na swimming pool, iko na jacuzzi, iko na bathtub.
Wait.
Iko na mini golf course.
Mini golf course.
And if you have a helicopter unaweza land hapo bado.
Wow.
That's how crazy.
There's a helipad.
Yes, that's how crazy that car is. If you don't believe me, angalia Guinness Book of Records 1986.
26 wheel limousine.
Ninaweza tosha wase 70. So wewe na genge yako na familia yao mnaweza enda road trip now.
Oh, this is crazy. This is so they're saying it's 100 feet long.
Yeah, it's 100 feet long. But
100 footer.
Unfortunately, iliachwa ianze kurot. And we have photos of it just rotting away in a garage somewhere. And luckily or thankfully for the guys who love cars, hiyo gari imepelekwa ikuwe renovated. And it's something I think we should all appreciate. It's like the pinnacle of the 1980s. Malimo ndo zilikuwa
kusema. The American dream.
The American dream, boss. Ooh. The 1980s when cocaine was the thing, boss. This was the car to
Wolf of Wall Street.
Boom.
That's where it's at. Iko na jacuzzi I'm seeing here.
So because of COVID, of course, imekuwa delayed, but itamalizika probably by 2022. That's next year. So stay tuned for more about that limo.
Is it up for purchase? I'd love to know.
Hey boss, unaweza imagine maintenance cost ya 2 V8s, a bathtub, mini golf course.
Hizo vitu mingi, hizo jacuzzi. Big daddy. The big daddy of a car. Right, so that's what is happening in terms of the world record and the longest car. Rolls-Royce.
Right, 20 Rolls-Royce. No, the interesting thing about Rolls-Royce is the fact that those guys have their hands in almost everything that can move. From cars to engines to boats to planes. also korada nayo. Now the thing beautiful about Rolls-Royce is that they made now an electric plane. And the reason why they did it is because they wanted to break the speed record and at least show guys that aviation can also be fully electric and sustainable, use renewable energy. So what they did, it was the spirit of innovation.
Spirit of innovation.
Yes. And the good thing is it'll break the previous fastest electric plane speed record by almost twice the speed.
When was that?
So the previous one ilikuwa 213 kilometers per hour. And last week they were able to clock in 555 kilometers per hour on electric power.
That's all electric. That's crazy. The innovation around electric vehicles is getting crazy. And, especially now, you mentioned, if I remember last week also, I hope you remember to touch on this. Subaru and Toyota came together to form an all-electric car, the first of their own. But we'll get into that.
And surprisingly, Rolls-Royce is a subsidiary of BMW, so they'll be working together as well to form now their own concept. Remember, by 2030, walisema hawatakuwa na produce any petrol or diesel engines. So this is something that is happening, and guys, we should be happy we are seeing a transition between fossil fuels to electricity.
All cars are going electric, including Subaru, as I said, and and Toyota.
Yes, so that's an interesting thing. Of course, Mika, kwa pilot, I would love to have my hands on that 500 plus horsepower.
That's a lot.
Aeroplane. Nijibamena.
Now, before to move from aeroplanes, I had prepared here something for you. KQ, wanasema, since you're Captain Manu.
Yes.
KQ are requesting that all their pilots, they ongeze speed as they go to China.
Okay.
Yani wanaenda pole pole, road bumps huko juu nini wa ignore.
Here's the thing. I'll just give you in a nutshell what I think about this. Recently, of course, COVID, kila mtu alijua. Everything slowed down and everybody had to cut costs. That includes KQ cutting pilots on our release and all that. But now that the global economy is coming back, wanajaribu hata kuget wale waliwafire. Guys, come in, we do this because now the market is coming and the demand is there. And because of that, other East African companies wameanza sasa ku rise up. Unajua si tulikuanga tu Ethiopia Airlines na KQ ndio tulikuwa kusema, especially Ethiopia Airlines, but now because ni kama tumekuwa reset in the aviation industry, now it's like we are having almost an almost level playing field where Uganda iko na Air Uganda, TZ iko na Air TZ na Air Rwanda. So now everybody is competing to the market enye KQ na Ethiopia walikuwa na
dominator.
And now,
right,
because the reason why they are being told waharakishe ni juu kuna hiyo backlog of cargo that they need to go and get or go and deliver.
So apige squads mingi.
Hey, boss, chapa kazi. But
Kweli,
of course,
kweli. So you approve it?
Me, I don't approve.
They're saying that it's a danger to pilots.
Yes, I do agree. Kuna kwanga na speed limits kwa hewa. In as much as guys don't think there is, there kuna kwanga na speed limits. So when you force pilots to go above and beyond what is considered normal, there are prone to be mistakes, but we hope against all hopes that our Kenyan pilots are up to task, especially if you're a Meru Kenyan pilot
peleka jaba Europe. So now as we look at that, before we move on to the next item, Rolls-Royce, as you mentioned, the all-electric invention, Rolls-Royce itafika Kenya lini?
Aziko, but unfortunately, they don't have like a permanent office in East Africa. So if you see a Rolls-Royce around, it had been imported either in their own ways. But
they're surviving in their own ways.
Yeah. So
of course, if you have one, you already
what we should be happy about is Porsche ndo iko na a base in Kenya, actually along Mombasa Road. So ukitaka Porsche yote,
I don't know if you've seen Apple is also coming with an electric car.
Yes, but you ipatie some time before it materialize. Of course, they're working on the autonomous nature of that car. And when you wanasema haitakuwa na steering wheel or anything, it will just
get in and go
driving you. So before tufike hapo, it's going to take a while. Remember, Tesla has been doing this for quite a while. It's still not 100% perfect, but every single time it's being driven, wana erevusha the AI that is learning how to drive.
All right.
So it's only a matter of time before machines zikuwe better in driving than in humans. Na ikifika hiyo point, expect sasa kuona hiyo Apple car.
Watu wakuwe ready ku update pale on Apple Store. Okay, so something else that was here.
Sema.
Beer prices, but pia the most important yenye naongelea ni the price of consumer products za fuel. So apparently Kenya is not the one with the most expensive fuel
Imagine
prices.
that. I actually saw this headline and I was like, by the way, Kenya, I'm sure to go in the top 10. But it looks like our guys know how to source for fuel. It's only that, see, last
So 130 something per liter is not expensive.
Don't get me wrong, that is expensive. But the amount of money we use to purchase it from now the exporters is a bit lower than that. Hii price tunaona kwa gas stations ni after ikwe transported, na markups, na manini na make. So inakwanga almost 30 shillings lower than what you actually see.
So what are the most expensive ones then?
Now, number one, tebu jaribu kuguess bede. Let me see.
I'd guess where there's a lot of money, so South Africa, Egypt.
Well, the most expensive. Okay, iko karibu na South Africa.
Huku chini.
Enye iko na currency ingine hapo weird.
Zimbabwe.
Boom! Zimbabwe has the most expensive. Unaweza imagine it costs 163 bob. Ikifika kwa port.
So which means the drivers
inaweza kwa almost 200 bob.
Ooh, crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So followed by Mayotte. Mayotte is two islands between Madagascar and Mozambique.
That's in Africa.
Yeah, but in Africa. I know.
Oh, okay.
Mayotte.
Had it here first.
Then Central African Republic, Seychelles, Malawi, South Africa, Uganda wako number 7 most expensive. Then
I think we've been saying that oil fuel comes through Kenya and then goes to Uganda and it's cheaper there.
Yeah, they buy it more expensively when they're importing. Now you can imagine the travel cost. The only thing that ninaweza sema ni Tanzania ndio pale it's relatively cheaper than Kenya. But when you look at now the prices from the government figures, Kenya has a lower figure than in
so Kenya is not in that list. And the ones where are cheap, I'm guessing there has to be a list also.
Of course, that is cheap. Okay, the most cheapest country, guess.
The one where we don't know them. I mean, Chad, Mali, those countries that I've never heard of.
Karibu, Algeria. Algeria ni almost 20 bob.
20 bob
for
a liter of fuel.
So unaweza chagua between Predator ama kunya Predator mafuta ya gari.
Hey, say V-Power every day.
Every day, all day. So Algeria, Angola, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the third cheapest in Africa. 39 bob, so about 40 bob. Kidabula inaweza kwa 40 bob. 40 to 70 shillings at the pump. Kuna Nigeria, Tunisia, Sudan.
So to book a border.
Sudan definitely since it's gonna huge oil
reserves, yeah.
Madagascar, Mauritius, then number 10, Zambia. Yes,
that's
Zambia iko sasa 89 bob.
89 bob. Hey, okay.
So the price at which the government is buying, it's a bit complicated, and of course
because the fuel pump is different.
But you can be able to see that governments actually book oil before ikuje. They usually have a price. They book that price. Your price ndio ifike. Whether it will change next month, walikuwa shana. So those are the figures that we got for a couple of months back. Yeah, African countries.
So Kenya as a country then should reduce the amount they charge at the fuel pumps because, well, we are not among the most expensive apparently.
Yes, apparently we are not the most expensive.
Okay, so Manu, I've tried to rush this discussion. We have like 3 minutes or so. Let's get to car mods, and I think we'll have to close the show with you on set.
No problem. Kama kawa.
Car mods. So wase uget gari, anaipimp, anaika ile rear wing, anaongeza exhaust mbili pale nyuma, ana seti turbo, so many other things that happen around car modifications, tinting. I remember some time back the government also banned tinting of cars. What are the modes allowed and what kind of modifications can people do?
Alright, guys can go all crazy, but ile nenaweza kakwambia that are safely allowed in Kenya are just a couple. The ones who won't bring a lot of insurance issues or any issues if, let's say, ungepelekwa mbele. So I have just put 7 lists of things that you can be able to do to your car that should make your car look good and you'll enjoy doing it without really breaking a lot of laws. Number 1, tint. Eka tint, it will go a long way in terms of privacy, security, and also reflecting heat away from your vehicle.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
So hata kama umeipark chini ya sun itakuwa as much heat as you should, but I mean high quality tint do itafanya hivyo. The other thing, tires and rims. Those things make a huge difference, especially tires. The last week I had a problem with my car because nikifika 100 steering wheel inatetemeka.
Inaanza kushake thika road.
Imagine I went and I was like,
it's a tire issue.
Yeah, it's a tire issue. It was warped, so I had to take it out and put a new one, and it drove like.
So now when you hit past 100, it's smooth.
Sahi boss, nothing.
Mambo iko shwari.
Sahi ni kwenda.
Kweli, the third one.
The third one ni external and internal lighting. Now, external lighting is a bit tricky because now there's a limit to how bright you should be able to buy the bulbs. But you should make sure that they are bright enough for guys to see you, for you to see in the fog, and guys behind you to notice you and know that uko mbele yao. Ushai drive nyuma usiku alafu unashtuka lori imetokelezea.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's needed.
So yeah, if you put in some good lighting hapo inaweza kukusaidia sana.
Okay.
Now, number 4, seat covers. Easy utani thank once you are going to sell the vehicle, because once you put in the seat covers, they may look nice, maybe even make you even more comfortable, but when you're also reselling and you remove them, the car looks brand spanking new.
Right.
The other thing, car mats kama kawa wasa wanaingianga na matope, kuna kuanga na uchafu, sometimes maybe ni kiatu ndio inararua the carpet. You need to preserve that,
the floor of the car as well.
Exactly. And also it's good to have such particular
my director is screaming in my ears. Elisa, let's read the others.
So 2 more car mods, and this I'm going to fly by them. Sound system, camera system, of course, tune it to how loud you want it, and then itakuwa sawa. And the last thing, shock absorbers. Do not put spacers, but good shock absorbers.
What is the importance of having shock absorbers as we wind up on that one?
High quality shock absorbers ensure the car is in contact with the ground and you have maximum traction. Okay, kama shock absorbers imbo, hit a bump, unaweza skid off. If let's say the road is undulating, you lose traction and you get off the road, it's very important that you put in the right shock absorbers. Spacers are worse because they just lift the car up and can make you topple over when you're driving fast.
Okay, so no spacers. No
spacers for insurance, wanaweza takwara kukulipa juu umeka spacers.
Those are the 7 things you should consider to do to your car once you get it. Do you have a better experience on the road? Especially when you shake. I've experienced it, so I think the tires.
You need to check your tires.
Yeah, definitely. Asante sana. And with that, from Captain Manu, we drive off and finish the show. This has been KUTV Rise Today, Biashara Tuesday. If you are my co-host Manu, what would you say before I say my quote? What would you say?
Until the next 2 weeks, I'll see you soon.
All right. If you want breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen. See you next Tuesday. My name is Richard Okenya.